This week we're going to be going over one of my favorite series in the butterfly guard, which is the shoulder crunch series. So I like this a lot from a couple different spots. I like to start it in butterfly guard though. So we're here, I'm working with Jordan, things are happening. All I'm going to look to do is I'm going to look to weave one underhook in, and I want my thumb right on the cap of his shoulder. My opposite hand's going to come in, and I'm going to frame his neck and face with my forearm. What that's going to allow me to do is collapse my hands here and pressure his shoulder in. Now, the nice part about this is it has a pretty wide options bar. We're going to start with the simple sweep from it, and then we're going to work from there. So, once you get your hands connected here, you've got the quad. Once we get our hands connected here, all we're going to look to do is load Jordan here, and I'm going to use my standard butterfly sweep, but I'm also going to use this grip. So the way I do that is I put that pressure on the shoulder, then I turn my elbows to elevate his chin and elevate his arm. So it kills that post on this outside edge. So we're here, I go here in, boom, flip over. The nice part about this is you'll pretty standard land in and out with pressure on the neck and an arm isolate, which is what I like about this series. So we're here, I'm working, boom. I get his face framed. I want this arm, I want it on my shoulder here with my hands locked just above the cap of his shoulder. I'm not trying to lock it in front because that'll allow him to roll out. So when I'm here, if he tries to roll that elbow out, we're going to go over some options. We're here, I pull him in, elevate with the hips, use the arms to turn. Nice part is, like I said, you land arm isolated generally in mount or 3/4 mount. Questions on this one? It's a very simple butterfly sweep, but
I've seen people hook the leg to not kick it and kick versus that. Is there a reason you shouldn't do that?
to scissor it,
To scissor it.
I don't dislike it, I just don't prefer it.
Okay.
So it's not wrong by any stretch of the imagination. What JJ is asking is on this side, some people will scissor sweep through here. I think it adds an extra step for him to kill your skills. And that's why I don't. So, is it wrong? No. Do I prefer it? No. But that's not good. Other questions on this, Shane?
Is there a place to, like, instead of just kind of stabbing further going and doing it, is there a place to maybe like transition from or does that make sense?
Yeah, so biggest thing is it's going to be coming in off the pummeling when you're sitting up in this butterfly guard, right? So I'll generally start working on it, and we'll get in here, I'll get this underhook, boom. And it's going to come off kind of that like wrestling pummel drill, everyone's kind of in here hand fighting and looking for stuff, boom. And that's going to be where I find it 9 times out of 10 is people will sit into my butterfly guard and I'll know, hey, I'm either trying to head snap and guillotine, or when my head snap's not working, boom, I bury that underhook and go. That's generally how I'm setting up.
When I've tried this in the past, I get too ambitious and I just grab in the wrong spot on the arm, kind of.
Yes.
Is there a way can you just would you just pull them in and kind of do a quick grab?
Yes, you can re-grip on this if you need to. So let's say I get here, I get Doug, and I'm like here, I'm like way low. Boom, I will use the frame of the face to set my top hand.
Okay, so that's what you do.
So boom, I'll frame here, boom, and that's where I'll come in to grip. Then if I need to, I'll get this arm where I want it and start working from there. So that frame is going to be what helps set, 1, your distance, because that's the big thing, and this is managing that distance, but 2, using that to then frame that face and get that top hand set. Other questions on this? All right, drill her out. One with Jordan, and I don't like Jordan most days, right? He's lanky, he's a problem most of the time. So if I'm going to hit something on him, I got to be aggressive about it. So boom, I pummel in, I get here. I go to rock back for that sweep, but Jordan's smart and he just kind of tries to base out real hard to his open side here. Perfect. I appreciate the help. You've just given me an arm lock. So all we're going to do, our leg that was on the side we were going to sweep to, right? That knee's going to come out and cover his shoulder blade here. Our hands that were here are going to drag down until we find the back of his elbow. We're going to answer our telephone and extend this arm. Boom, and look to extend that reverse arm lock. Now, a couple of the big details on this is, when I go to fall back here and he bases, boom, I have to collapse here and open my chest. Just bring it out sideways. Because if I have his arm flat on my chest, there's nowhere for his arm to flex. I'm just hugging his arm really tightly. Here, has room to move. Now, I generally want his thumb pointed down. If his arm's not where you need it to be, use your wrist to rotate it until it gets into place. I'm using this top knee pressure to keep him from posturing up, because people, when they start to feel this, are going to start bringing their head up here and trying to bring their arm in. Now, next we're going to go over how to defeat that, but for the time being, let's assume we can keep his pressure down and stay here and finish. It's the same reverse arm lock you guys have seen in a variety of places, just another spot to hit it from. Questions on this? Yes. I'm getting completely to this hip and to this ribs so that my chest is open and his arm is to the side here. I can't lay flat or even kind of at that 45. It's got to be at that full 90 where I'm turned completely. That's what gives you the room to hit the arm. Other questions on this? Big thing is, guys, the crook of your wrist needs to find the back of his elbow. So right above the point of his elbow and the back of his tricep, there's a little V groove that you'll feel. That's where you're trying to slide your arm into. So when we get here, boom, I fall back, boom, I come to go here and I extend him out, boom. I'm looking for that groove. The second I feel it, I bring that hand in. All right? Questions? Okay.
Is there any, like, with the arm not making its way up here, go somewhere else? Like him doing it, like, you know how it ends up on the side of your left side?
Yeah.
What if it goes over here?
If it goes to the far side, you would go to the arm, to the traditional belly down. But let's assume when I fall back here, that I'm able to keep that there. Because if it falls to this side, the next move we're going to work is going to be where we go. The goal with this, guys, is to create a long chain of submissions you can hit in succession. So that's the point here, is to have, you know, okay, I hit the sweep. Sweep doesn't work because he bases. Great, I hit the reverse arm lock. Reverse arm lock doesn't work because he postures. Great, we hit the other arm bar. The longer those chains can be, that's the reason I catch most of you guys. It's not magic, it's my third move that I've been able to string together. When I'm able to string 2, 3, 4, 5 moves ahead, that's when I catch it. Very rarely do I just go, oh, arm bar on any of you. Most of you are good enough now that that just doesn't work. It's the second, third, fifth move that catches you. And that's where it feels like you're walking into traps, because you're like, oh, I defended this, I defended that, I defended this, and I got caught. That's the point of having these longer chains, is the longer that chain gets, the less of an exit path he has, and the more likely you are to find something. Does that make sense? Other questions on this? One more time. I'm here, we fight in, boom. I go to sweep and Jordan bases hard. Great. I use my feet to extend here, knee comes on top. Hands slide down, pull in, finish the arm. Alright? Drill her out. 1, 2, 3. So, I'm here with Jordan. If he gets here today. One day. Alright, so boom, I get here, I go to sweep, Jordan bases out real hard, but one of two things happens, right? Either I can't get to this armbar here for whatever reason, maybe his arm passes in front, or any of a dozen other things can happen, right? But for whatever reason, I just can't get this armbar. A lot of guys will turn thumb up, start bringing their chest up. There's a variety of reasons, right? All we're going to do, our bottom leg is going to pull out and come into that armpit here. Now, if his head is up, we bring our shin in front. If it's down, we bring our shin over here. I don't care which you practice. Try both and see which one you like better. Big thing is getting this shin in here. Now, let's assume Jordan brings his head up here. Boom. The second his head comes up, my leg comes over. I'm trying to hammer my heel to the floor as I extend this arm. If his head stays down, I'm bringing my shin to the back of his neck. Now, if only we had a drill where you were designed to roll over the top of your neck. Chad, it'd be great, wouldn't it? If I made you guys do these weird little side rolls type thing, where like you had to come up, over, and follow an arm. Be really cool, wouldn't it, Evan? It's magic if I taught you guys these things in warm-ups. Promise they're not just for fun, boys.
That would be cool.
Kind of magical, isn't it? That's why we do those rules, guys. Is some of these, the positional things we work on in warm-ups, yeah, some of it is just to get your body warm, I promise. A lot of it is practical motions that you guys need to be able to do. So we're here, boom, I go, I can't get it, boom. My foot comes in. That's the hardest part of this. Once you figure out how to bring your foot from that butterfly to here, you'll be able to figure out the rest. The rest is just a simple arm bar. Jordan drives in, he's gonna try to pass most of the time, just like Jordan is. Second his head comes up, pop the arm bar. If he stays head down, like I said, shin over, side roll. He'll probably follow. When he does, bring your foot over, finish down. Seems complicated, but it's putting together skills that you guys already have, just putting them in sequence. Questions on this series? Nothing on a super complicated.
Can I see it again?
Yeah, we'll walk through it again. Other
So
questions?
when you go here, right? How do you're bringing it?
So boom, I'm here. I'll have Jordan stay kind of up so you guys can see it. So my leg's here, right? All I'm gonna do is bring my knee to my chest here, and I'm gonna open this knee just that little bit to attach this foot to that armpit. So it goes from here, up, here. That. And when most people feel that, they're going to do exactly what Jordan did, which is start walking that direction. They're going to be like, oh yeah. And that's where you armbar. And that's where you guys go, ah! Thought I was passing you. And I go, haha, Evan. Plot twist. It was a trap. It's always a trap. Other questions on this? Yes, JJ?
What if they don't follow you? Put their heads down. Belly down. Or...
Yeah. So you're saying, so I get here, boom.
Keeps his head down.
And he keeps his head down?
You roll, he doesn't follow.
Yeah. If you get here and he doesn't follow, face this way and rip his arm. Most guys will be smart enough to roll. If they're not, just break their arm. Belly down armbar. Most people naturally, even if they don't know that that's what they're supposed to do, it'll relieve the pressure and they'll feel it. So most guys will roll there, but in the off case that they don't, belly down armbar is available.
Can you get to the belly down position?
Yeah?
Okay, so don't go, like, be actually belly down though. Don't be on your side. So when you're belly down, sometimes I get stuck here and is my problem is that I need to get to the side, or should I be able to finish it from here?
No. Belly down armbar is when you start to motion. When I'm here, I'm doing two key factors. One, I'm turning to the side to get his arm up, and I'm pressuring his head. This shin pressure is what forces him to either roll or tap. So that's where you need to be on that belly down. Because it'll force that roll or it'll force it. One of the two. Other questions? 1, 2.